Hello everyone and welcome to you, dear fashion enthusiasts. Today I invite you to discover with me the Marco Rambaldi Fall-Winter 2026 fashion show, presented during Milan Fashion Week. It is a very particular collection, where clothing almost seems to transform into movement, as if each silhouette were part of a kind of emotional choreography. In this presentation, you will quickly notice that Marco Rambaldi is not simply proposing garments, he is telling stories through gestures. Simple human gestures, almost intimate ones. An embrace, for example, becomes a true design idea. On the runway, some garments appear to literally hold one another. A bright red cardigan pinned to the front of a pink crewneck sweater visually creates the image of an embrace. It feels tender, almost naive, but also very touching. Another interesting element in this collection is the reference to the waltz. This dance, which at the end of the 18th century was considered scandalous because of how closely it brought partners together. Rambaldi translates this idea of proximity into his silhouettes. You will see soft knit ensembles, often in pastel tones, moving with great fluidity. The garments almost seem to dance with the models. Some sweaters even feature playful intarsia motifs near the neckline, resembling small decorative handkerchiefs. You may also notice hearts on certain sweaters or tights, subtly recalling the universe of thermal underwear. This creates a curious feeling, something familiar and domestic, yet with a small touch of rebellion. Crochet naturally remains one of Marco Rambaldi's signature languages, but here it appears deliberately imperfect, almost raw. You will be able to observe patchwork skirts and tops with visible threads. It feels as if the artisanal process itself is just as important as the finished garment. Some silhouettes also blend different worlds. Hoodies with slogans such as "Wish You Were Queer" or "I Love You" are layered with silk skirts or slip dresses. This contrast between activist streetwear and almost bourgeois refinement creates a visually intriguing tension. In fact, the Italian bourgeois archetype is also a central theme of the show. Rambaldi reinterprets some of its codes: short collarless jackets and crochet skirts that sometimes resemble tablecloths or sarongs. But the edges are often frayed, as if conventions themselves were beginning to slowly unravel. It is not mockery, but rather a gentle way of shifting tradition. At times, the collection becomes clearer with very precise silhouettes. A gray wool mini skirt, for example, paired with an oversized sweater, almost evokes a school uniform. It is simple, graphic, and very effective. And then comes the finale, a shimmering two-tone crochet column dress, handmade over 3 weeks. It contrasts strongly with the more spontaneous looks seen earlier, and reveals the house's true technical craftsmanship. Personally, I find this collection very moving in its intention. There is a real sincerity in Rambaldi's universe, and in his attachment to craftsmanship. However, some silhouettes can sometimes feel slightly less clear, with many layers and ideas intersecting. A more focused selection might have made the overall message even stronger. Yet what remains particularly powerful here is this idea of fashion as a gesture of closeness. Not an armor, not a distance, but rather a way of creating connections between people. I will now let you fully enjoy the runway and observe every detail of this Marco Rambaldi Fall-Winter collection. Thank you very much for sharing this moment with me. Feel free to tell me in the comments what you think of this collection, and which silhouettes impressed you the most. Enjoy the rest of the show, and I look forward to seeing you again soon for another immersion into the world of fashion. Take care.